All right, we are going to review Cartesian coordinates. So Cartesian coordinate is just your xy coordinate, and it's invented by this person named René Descartes. So he basically found a way to represent our 2D space in the xy coordinate. So you have an x-axis, y-axis, and you have 4 quadrants. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is the positive, and then it goes counterclockwise. And when we say order pair, we always mean the xy coordinate. So when you see order pair, that's what it means. Now let's kind of review how to graph. So let's say that you have this export or table of exports, and you have year by amount of export. Which one would you make as the x variable? X is the independent variable. The year or the exports? Year. Why is that? Yeah, it's an independent variable, meaning it doesn't matter what happens, it keeps going. Y is the dependent variable, so it depends on the year. So y is always dependent on x, so that's how you draw it. All right, everybody. Okay, so let's come back. We are going to graph this. So since our exports, the lowest number is 97, we're going to draw a squiggly line that represents I just jumped from 0 to whatever number I want. So let's say that I start at 90. That way it's closer to my smallest number. And then let's say that I go up every 10 billion. And then on the bottom where I put the year, I'm going to start with year 2000 and then go up by 1 year at a time, and so on. So go ahead and just draw a really quick graph of this scatter plot. Okay, so this is about how your kind of your scatter plot will look like. So it's kind of like a ladle almost. Okay, so just a quick review. Next. Distance formula. Distance formula is a way for you to find the distance between 2 points. Does anyone remember the distance formula? Oh, you guys do. Okay, what is it?
Square root. What?
It's
Oh,
square root.
well, I started the inside.
Okay.
x2 minus x1 plus y2 minus y1 square root.
So close.
Wait,
No.
Is it?
Wait, what?
Something is wrong.
Inside, the inside have the square too.
Yes.
The x,
Okay, so
Yeah,
this
I
is
got
the
it.
distance.
Okay.
Okay, so most people don't remember this distance formula. So I'm going to show you how distance formula is derived. So you will not forget it. It's actually really easy. So let's go ahead and draw our coordinate plane there. And let's say that we have a point on here at 3, 4. Oh, sorry, 3, 4. Let's say we have a point on here, 3, 4, and I want to figure out the distance between the origin and that point. So what should I do? Pythagorean theorem, right? I could use Pythagorean theorem by drawing a right triangle and then figure out the length. So what is that length? Ooh. No, this is bad. Okay, this is a special triangle. 5. Yes, 5. 3, 4, 5 triangle. You gotta remember the 3, 4, 5 triangle. If you don't remember any of the other triples. But anyways, 3, 4, 5 triangle. So you can see that that distance is 5. Now, if you didn't know that, you would do 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared, or c squared, and then try to find that. So let's kind of look at it in a different way. So we know that we can use Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And in our case, that is 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared, right? And then if we want to find the distance, we basically just square root. So c is equal to the square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared. Okay, now let's take a look at it. How did you know this length is 3? You counted? Okay, what if you couldn't count? Like, I just told you it was 3, 4. Or you just said, well, if you told me it's 3, 4, it's just 3. What if the other point is not 0, 0? It's something else. How would you figure out the x distance? Yeah, you take the farther point minus the closer point, right? So then you would take, like in this case, you have 2 points. One is 3, 4, one is 0, 0. You would basically just do 3 minus 0, right? That's how you find the x distance. How do you find the y distance? You take the farther one minus the closer one, so 4 minus 0. Okay, so essentially what you're doing is you are doing 3 minus 0 squared plus 4 minus 0 squared. The distance in the x squared, the distance in the y squared. And then you can just kind of, bring it out to the generalist form. So you're basically just doing x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And that is the distance formula. So distance formula and Pythagorean theorem are exactly the same thing. So hopefully you will not forget the distance formula anymore. It is just the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, all right, so Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right, also another commonly forgotten formula is the midpoint formula. You know that one. Okay, what is it?
x1 plus x2 over 2, and then y2 plus y1 over 2.
Okay, y1 plus y2 over 2. Okay, correct. So if I want to figure out what is the middle part, let's say that I am standing at 2 on the number line, and then Blake is standing at 10 on the number line. What is the point in between us? This is like too much, huh? 6? I think it's 7, isn't it? So halfway between us is 5 units long, right? So 2 plus 5 is 7. Okay, all right, we need to write this down. Okay, so let's say that I have, this number line. Okay, I'm standing here at 2, and then Blake is standing here at 10. The question is, what is this middle point? Oh, I'm sorry. Jennifer's like, what is going on? Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, yes. Sorry, for some reason I thought I said 12. Okay, yes, so that is 6. So how do you actually get that point? 10 plus 2 divided by 2. So in the middle, you take this current one plus that one and then divide it by 2. Good? Okay, so that is the midpoint formula. So this is to find the middle between 2 points. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this one. Determine whether the following is a right triangle. Well, if this is a right triangle, which part do you think will be the right angle? Yeah, this one, right? So the question is that a right angle? If that's a right angle, there has to be a right triangle. So I want you to talk to your partner and figure out some ways you can figure out if this is a right triangle. So what are some good ways to find out whether this is a right triangle? Okay, let's see. Iris and Penny, what do you guys think? Find each distance and then what? Okay, and then check Pythagorean theorem. Okay. So check here, here, and here, and then see if Pythagorean theorem works. Is that what everyone said? No? Okay, Caleb and Trey, what do you guys say?
What?
You do like the slopes as if they're opposite reciprocals.
Ah, very good. You can check the slope and see if they're opposite reciprocal. Right? Because if they are perpendicular, then you create a right angle. Right? Is there another way to do this?
Know your right triangles.
Know your right triangles, but what do you need to know? Those are the only ways I can think of, unless you guys can come up with something else that's more clever. I don't know.
I thought you
Yeah?
had another one.
Yes.
Rectangle.
Rectangle? Draw a rectangle. See. Huh? Oh, to find the. Oh. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so find the angles that way. Okay. Like actually measure them, I guess. I think we have probably exhausted all of the ways. So go ahead and find out if that is the right triangle. Okay, hopefully you did the distance formula correctly. And this part is square root 32 or 4 root 2. And then this is 4 root 2. And this part is 8. If you use the Pythagorean theorem, it does work. Or if you did the slope way, you'll find out that this line has a slope of 1. This line has a slope of -1. So then they are opposite reciprocal of each other, which means that creates a right triangle, right angle. Any questions? Okay, next. Let's have you practice. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you read the question. Not every question is asking for distance. So I am glad we reviewed because, okay, so this is square root 34, square root 34, oops, square root 34. All right, when we get to things like this, people start to forget the algebra part. Okay, so that's that, and then we reduce that to a 9/2, and then there comes the point where people want to kill cats. Please don't kill cats. So a lot of people do this, and they're like, square root 2. Okay, don't do that. That would be killing a cat. Please don't do that. I mean, even if you do want to cancel, what happened to your 1? 2 divided by 2 is not 0. So, at least keep that 1, right? But anyways, either way, it is not correct. If you want to cancel, this better has a factor of 2 as well. Okay, so this has to have a factor of 2 for you to cancel if you want to cancel, which it doesn't, so there's nothing you can do. Just leave it like that. Next, fraction over a fraction. This is where people always get stuck because this is just a little bit tricky. Okay, so we add the fractions together and we divide by another number. So it's a complex fraction, never leave it like this. So this is -2/3 over 2, comma, -6/4/2. Hopefully by this time you can do this in your head. What's going to happen is you're dividing by 2, which is really 2/1. So then you're multiplying by the reciprocal, which is multiplying by 1/2. Or in another way, hopefully you just do this in your head. This number you're dividing always combines with that denominator. So essentially you could just cancel in your mind, and hopefully you just do that from now on. Okay, so the 2 and that 2, so let me just do it on the side so you can see it. It's multiplying by 1/2. So that cancels, so you get a -1/3. And this next one, I'm just going to do it in my head. That 6 and 2 cancel, so it's just -3/4. Okay, so just a little review on, Algebra 2 stuff. Number 5, if you have not found the perimeter and the area, please do that right now. Let me know when you're done. All right, so perimeter is going to be 10 plus 2 root 13. Please don't add them together. They're not like terms or similar numbers. Area is 12. Okay, last part, we're just going to review a circle, standard equation of a circle. All right, so 2 things define a circle. First, the center. Second, the radius. Do you remember what two letters represent the center? HK, remember Hong Kong, remember Hello Kitty. Okay, what about radius? That would be easy. R, yeah. So in this circle here, where is the center? 4, 5, good. What is the radius? 4. Does anyone still remember the equation of a circle?
Yes.
You do? Okay, tell me.
Oh, me?
You're the only one who said yes.
Okay, I think it was x plus h. Oh, square root, sorry. No, I meant parentheses.
Iris is making a face.
Wait, what? Is it not? I forgot.
You got the x and the h right, but
Oh,
The-
I need to continue.
huh?
X plus h.
No,
That's what he said.
parentheses, x plus h squared.
Someone else?
No, minus.
Minus.
Oh, because
Minus.
well,
We
it's
always
times
minus.
tens, though, you
And
know?
then what?
Plus
Plus.
minus k squared.
Yes.
Y minus k squared and then
Equals to r squared or
r squared. Okay.
R squared doesn't
Essentially, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Again, I don't know if you remember last year when I derived how a circle equation came about, but it is just the Pythagorean theorem again. So in this case, hk is 4, 5, r is 4, so we just have the equation x minus 4 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 16. Okay, so let's really quickly have you try these, 1 and 2. So find the standard form equation of the following circles. All right, let me give you the answers. X minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 25. Number 2, x squared plus y squared equals 3. Number 3, the center is minus 4, 2. The radius is 11. And the last one, the center is 0, 0, and the radius is square root 5.